doesn't mean a great deal to the player.
Up the middle, Colson Montgomery, the first out.
And one of the reasons why guys who are battling know they're battling, and so each and every day, whether it's the opening game of this, that they can actually belong here. And if you do that, then it's a successful spring.
Here at Camelback Ranch, it's a great facility.
And we are very familiar. Much better hitter from the left side, and he'll.
Mariners second baseman. He yanks that one to the Dacus, fields it, steps on the best. One of these guys here in camp who is trying to win a job here with the White Sox.
Starting every day, probably are behind him, but realizes at this stage of his career, just earning a spot on.
Here's the DH, Mitch Garver.
The Twins, healthy, but this is a big, strong young man.
Two outs here in this top of the first. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. He did. These guys brought in for defensive purposes to work with his staff.
It's first, and there's a couple of them in camp. Guys handled pitchers very well.
I mean, yesterday there was an incident where he ground ball, did not run it out.
Well, the pitcher did boot the ball at first, and fortunately he booted it a second. But I think Pedro wants to set the tone in spring training because this is a veteran guy. Sends a message to everybody else.
The 3-2 pitch, got him.
Casey Lawrence going to the mound, and that's what he did last spring training with the Mariners. Mariners going to be a really strong pitching, especially the rotation.
It's really the first time that he has been healthy, and he's excited about this spring.
Yeah, White Sox fan on his right hand in September of 22. Took longer to heal. Green hand injury. He had a rib injury. Still played 151 games, second most on the team.
And Steve, this is kind of the theme we've seen a lot of this season.
Well, a down year is you come into a new place with a 5-year deal for do it last year physically.
We'll make the first catch here in this Boston.
Here's another guy coming up now, John, that he had some foot issues. But also, this is the final year of his contract. He's got wonderful skills, and hopefully he can stay healthy and bring.
So he's 4 punch in this lineup of Moncada, Robert Jr., and Jimenez. And talking about the White Sox team.
Guys.
Low, and it drops in front of him. Moncada will have a stand.
Or just throw it back to the infield. This one's. Barlow has some problems. He doesn't really know if he's going to get run, but that's a ball that will be caught.
Robert Jr. hacking at the first pitch. Season, 145 games. And so he gets this one all the way into left. Maldonado had to. He gets all of it.
Well, it felt like ordinary wind whatsoever. It's absolutely still. He caught that one. A hitter can feel it in his hands. He knows where he hit it on the bat, and that one stayed in the park.
Eloy Jimenez, grounder to the right side. Polanco at second. Griffin, top of the second. No score between the Mariners and the White Sox. So the plan here out for the second is Sammy Peralta.
16 games last year with our Sox to man an inning, so the changeup is pretty good.
One of the play for the Mariners. It'll be the first baseman, Ty France.
He's a really good offensive player when he's entirely healthy, but blame himself for last year where he hit just .250. He led the world in it.
That one is a fair ball down the left field line.
For Moncada. Last year just 12 home runs, 58 driven in. The year before, 2022.
Right fielder will step in. Nobody can.
This is really a key, but he's never hit above 200 with the Mariners.
Mariners have 74 players in camp. Foul territory. Moncada cannot make it.
Discretion is the better part of valor because could he have made that catch? But he's coming up on the tarp right there, as you can see, kind of distracted at the.
The count on Trammell.
You have to do whatever you can do to pull the ball. At the end of this at bat for Trammell was not a good at bat. Thinking along the same lines as you, starts looking away, then you can jam him. In this,
here's Peralta's pitch. Got him looking.
Going to third base where you can score on a ground ball or a fly ball. Now you still have to get a base hit early in the spring training.
I'm going to give it to Max Stassi, the good frame job.
He's pretty.
Rojas, one of the guys in camp right now for Seattle who is bad.
Seattle's going to go with the platoon system at third base. Hey, but third base looks to be one that will be shared.
Off speed. France is on.
Paul Sewald had 8 rises for a guy to come through.
Juniors camps underneath. Runner at second and third.
Successful. That's a run. It's 1-0 Seattle. If he moves him along, he didn't. Might wind up costing him a run depending on the resolution of this at bat.
Fly ball track and will make the catch.
White Sox. He signed a minor league deal just last week with the Sox to be prepared from pitch one. Every game, every pitch is going to matter. Batted .350, slugged .600, made the team.
Hoping does that put on other players that knowing that a guy like this who has accomplished.
You look at the guys who are playing your position, you figure out just how many there are, major league accomplishments, and that competition is really open spots. The starting rotation has some open spots, and I like to see competition.
Lawrence on the mound. The starter for Seattle in his second inning. Starting pitching, relievers.
7 or 8 guys competing for 5 spots in the rotation. A little more crowded because the guys that don't make the rotation will go to the pen. That high fastball, Moustakas said he's got a pretty good one. Then he reacts to a high fastball out of the zone.
Sheets called up in 2000, 10 home runs.
That's the competitive nature. He said it's supposed to be me versus the pitcher, but against a pitcher, that's not really a great recipe for success. And that's where Gavin knows some tips he hasn't heard before, so he's in a much better place mentally. And
was Colson Montgomery, #1 draft choice, #1 prospect in the organization.
Handed hitting shortstop. Rated as the #8 prospect in minor league.
Have them early in your career and try to put them away, but he's supremely talented. But odds are overwhelming because he doesn't have that much of a minor league backlog.
But that's also the best part about spring training is that you never know. I mean, if he goes on it.
Because if nothing else, he gets to see major league pitching.
Every time I talk to a scout this week since I've been here since Monday, Fox organization.
Well, he's going to be a very good major league starter. You still need all of those minor league at bats to smooth things out, to understand what to do and make maybe 2 mistakes per at bat. You're going to next time they'll make 1 and you have to hit that one, because if you miss that, you get bats. And that's one of the things that the Sox are looking at with Montgomery.
Runner go. He's run the count to full as Sheets returns the first.
That's going to be one.